Today I went to an event with astronauts and it was really cool. I got some audio from it and I think I might even be on the news. I don't know yet because I'm recording this before I've seen the news today. But if I am, I'll show you guys at the end of the video.
American heroes. Commander has spent 28 days in space on 4 shuttle missions, twice as pilot and twice as commander, and who led our nation's space and aeronautics efforts as the 12th administrator of NASA, retired U.S. Marine Corps Major General Charles Bolden. 153 days in space on the shuttle and the Russian Mir space station, making over 2,300 orbits of the planet Earth. Retired U.S. Navy Captain Jerry Leninger. 2 shuttle missions which he piloted, a man who spent over 31 days in space, making nearly 500 orbits of our planet. Retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Gregory Johnson. We're going to start by asking each of our great American hero astronauts to answer this question. What was the most exciting thing that happened to you in space?
One of the experiments was a Japanese experiment called CPAC. Believe it or not, it was a particle accelerator. And the theory was we could fire these ionized particles back at Earth's atmosphere, and when they contacted the atmosphere, they would charge it, and we could produce artificial aurora. We had a rule that you don't say anything like holy, any of those things that you can imagine, but if everybody wasn't up on the flight deck, because it could mean the vehicle's coming apart, it could mean all kinds of bad things. And all of a sudden I heard this roar from the flight deck, holy! What's going on? And they said, we don't believe this. And so they turned the machine on again, and down on Earth, at the top of the atmosphere, saw this artificial aurora created. And that's exactly right. So I guess the big surprise was the adaptability of a human being, how we can adapt to anything. If I can adapt to that, you can adapt to anything.
A packed house this morning in Traverse City as 3 former NASA astronauts talked about their journeys into space. Their experiences ranged from flying space shuttles to spending time on space stations. The goal of their visit was to encourage students to look at careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. 9 and 10's David Leiden takes us to today's visit.
Up in space, looking down at the planet, I go, wow, that's a pretty spot down there, that Michigan.
Jerry Lineker spent 5 months on the Russian space station Mir. Greg Johnson piloted the Space Shuttle Endeavour on 2 missions, and Charlie Bolden flew on 4 shuttle missions and was NASA's 12th administrator. Today, all 3 shared their stories from Earth to outer space with students in Traverse City.
Humanity is incredibly innately curious. We always want to know what's across the hill or what's on the other side of the river or whatever else. And the big thing today is when we go to space, we're trying to make life better back here on the planet.
Students including Traverse City Central junior Zach Gerber, who hopes to soon be part of a mission to outer space.
The space program is really interesting, so getting to hear firsthand from these 3 amazing astronauts who have just done a lot to progress the science fields was really cool. There's so much extra things that can be learned, so much unknown yet in the world.
The message from these astronauts today was simple. Study, work hard, and don't be afraid of failure.
Space thing for me was an inspiration. I was 14 years old and I said I want to be an astronaut someday. And then I worked hard throughout the Naval Academy and through grad school.
A message they hope can inspire the next generation of space exploration.
It's a step process. You walk before you run, but now we have much greater technologies than we had 50 years ago and the capability to get to the moon and Mars.
In Traverse City, David Leiden.
Three former astronauts spoke to students from across the Traverse City area this morning to a packed house. The astronauts' experience ranged from shuttle flights to time on space stations. The event was held around 10 this morning at Traverse City Central High School, but all students were invited. They talked about careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. 9 and 10's David Leiden was there and joins us live with a recap.
Hey, Katie, good afternoon. Really a remarkable morning here in Traverse City as each of these 3 former NASA astronauts shared their stories, talked about the work they have done in outer space for NASA. And their hope is that by sharing their stories, they inspire the next generation of astronauts, the next generation of scientists, and the next generation of experiments being done in outer space. And appropriately enough, there were actually students here from Traverse City West who had an experiment that they did here on Earth that ended up traveling all the way to the International Space Station. And all 3 astronauts say that by talking about the missions they completed in outer space, they can encourage future space exploration, which is very close to pushing brand new boundaries.
We've got projects that are in the works. We're going to very soon launch astronauts from U.S. soil to the International Space Station. We've got vehicles in development that are going to go past low Earth orbit in cislunar space, targeting, the moon and then Mars. It's really an exciting time.
And these 3 astronauts, their day is not done yet here in Traverse City. They have an event coming up tonight at the Milliken Auditorium. Everything there is going to get going about 5:30, but I talked to one of the organizers. They're asking people to get there about 5 o'clock. They are expecting a full house. And coming up tonight on 9 and 10 News at 6, you're going to hear from a couple of students who are at today's presentation here at Traverse City Central. Reporting live in Traverse City, David Leiden, 9 and 10 News.
I got their autographs. From top to bottom is Charles, Jerry, and then Greg. I just thought I'd show this because I think it's pretty cool. And this is a very blurry photo of me and Greg Johnson, one of the 3 astronauts. Very cool. And here's one of me meeting Charles Bolden, the former administrator, or, you could also say head of NASA. So he's the top gun, not anymore, former, but it was still very cool to meet him and hear him explain all this cool stuff about space and space exploration. So it was really cool.